as somebody who's come from outside, it is just a blessing to be working with such fine actors. I mean, this was something I had written in like my list of goals. My first project here in Hindi especially was with Akshay Kumar, Vidya Balan. And that time, say I was just fresh out of college.
Yeah.
When you're not from the films and somebody comes and tells you, okay, you know, this is the audition and you're going to be Vidya Balan's daughter, and then okay, and you are playing, that is just amazing, right?
Of
that
course.
time you don't think कि क्या positioning है और कैसे दिखेंगे and all that. I also worked with Siddharth. So my director would speak really highly of his work ethic, and then you would see what he's delivering.
Correct.
So you know, you get inspired by looking at such co-actors. For me personally, I've not been a part of such a project where I've had an issue with the other female actor or the other actress or anything. When your dad calls you and tells you, okay, don't be afraid, I'm there, or be brave, these words just blur out anybody who's, you know, then nothing is that big. One or two really big projects that like blasted, and I was like, oh damn, I was, you know, shortlisted for that.
Yeah.
But it went to a very deserving actor. So I was happy for that. What meant for me will not pass me by.
Correct.
And I think if you have that very solid in your head, then you're just happier and at peace.
My guest today is somebody who's not only actively out there trying to make a big name for herself in the industry, but also somebody who's extremely dedicated and hardworking, and that's exactly what makes her the next big thing. Welcoming Kashmira Pardeshi on a fresh new episode of The Next Big Thing only on FPJ Showbiz. Hi Kashmira, thank you so much for doing this. How have you been?
I have been great, and it's a pleasure to be on your show. That's a lovely title.
Thank you so
and
much.
It's just, it feels great to be, you know, one of the names that you're interviewing on something called Next Big Thing.
Yes, you know, it is extremely difficult as artists to get noticed and to also try to actively make your name, especially when somebody doesn't have the connections and is, you know, as they say, is not a part of the industry from the beginning. So to do that, it's a big thing. So I feel it's time we start honoring them. It's time we start recognizing them, and of course bringing out the human side of this, because everyone has seen you as an actor, but we, you know, try to have conversations that are more candid.
Right.
So thank you for agreeing to do that. But tell me, how is it going? You know, you must be in all your glory, enjoying all the love that's coming in. But how does it feel? Does it feel overwhelming right now?
I mean, yes, because, you know, when you shoot for something and you're waiting for it to release, you don't really have an idea when it's going to come out. And then one fine day, you suddenly figure out, okay, this is coming. And Glory for me personally was very different from what I've done before.
Correct.
So, yes, it was a bit of everything. It was a lot of excitement mixed with nervousness and the kind of response that I have gotten. And I've been hearing really great things about my character and the way I have portrayed it. So it just feels like you want to live such a day, and then you're living in one. So yeah, it feels great.
Absolutely. But you know, when you get into a character, you really have to get into it, because when I watched you in Glory, it felt like you are her. But in reality, how similar or how different are you to her?
Very. I mean, I would be scared of myself if I was even a little bit like Bharti. But that was also the challenge.
Correct.
Because, see, as an actor, it's we can't just keep picking morally perfect characters, right? Because humans are flawed, and it is a story about flawed humans doing messy things and all of that. So it was personally a bit of a challenge to channelize her. But yeah, I mean, you know, as an actor, I think you cannot judge your character. You have to understand her, and there's always a reason why, good or bad, whatever. But that was a challenging thing, and I kind of feel good that, you know, when the character is not, I mean, the character is getting that hate, that why is she like this and all that. So that's like a good thing for me. That means I've done my job right.
Of course, definitely. But you know, when you work in a multi-starrer, and I've heard so many actors say this, that there could be a sense of insecurity amongst the co-stars. And when that happens, everyone's performance, I feel, just goes down, because if you're supportive and if you're secure, you will elevate each other's performances. How was it on this set? Was there mutual respect, mutual security amongst everybody.
Absolutely. I mean, I when I hear this, I feel like, see, as somebody who's come from outside, it is just a blessing to be working with such fine actors. I mean, this was something I had written in like my list of goals, that I want to be working with such seasoned actors. That really positions you in a very good place, and that is also that kind of validates me. Okay, I can do this. And for someone who had not since childhood or anything, I'd not thought of being an actor.
Yeah.
So when I decided, I really took my leap of faith and I put in a lot of hard work. I learned the craft and everything. So when I was placed with such amazing actors, it was just great to be working with them. I was just happy every day on set.
Yeah.
And personally, whatever I pick, I just want to do it to the best and stand out with it. So it, in fact, was a great boost to be on set with such seasoned and fine actors. It feels really good.
Did you take away something from on set that you will sort of, put in every other project that you do?
I think yes, because be it the director, Karan, Kanishk, or Divendu, Pulkit, Shayani, even I didn't have a lot of scenes with Ashutosh sir, but I love him as an actor. And Surendra sir, all of them, they were as good as they are on camera. They're also extremely chill. Even Pulkit,
Yeah.
he's lovely to work with. So they make you very comfortable. None of them were snooty, or none of them had this, okay, they don't make you feel like mm, you're not one of them. So I think that made me really comfortable. In fact, Karan is someone who, uh, the first time when I met him, he was like, I saw so many auditions, and we have been struggling to find our
Wow.
Bharti. And as you have watched the show, you know how important
Correct.
Bharti is.
Of course.
So he told me about my take, that what I did in the take that really worked for him. And he was like, you were very subtle, and we all were very interested in meeting you. And when you hear such things from a director, you feel like, you start believing in your craft more. And he did that throughout the process, where he just showed me what I'm doing right. And they were super chill and like very nice about it.
Wow. But you said something that they don't make you feel like you don't fit in. And a lot of times, unfortunately, when you don't belong to the industry, you've not grown up seeing that fandom and that flair, and you grow up in a non-filmy family, then it's
Yeah.
very difficult also.
It's very overwhelming.
Yes, it is. And sometimes,
Yes.
even if people are not making you feel that way, you might feel that, do I fit in here? That self-doubt maybe sometimes creep in. Like when I go to these Bollywood parties, it's been 8 years in the industry, I still don't feel like I fit in.
That happens to me maybe at like parties and functions, because I'm not a very extroverted person. But on set, if I'm prepared with my stuff, I don't feel that.
Wow.
When I go prepared,
Yeah.
I know I'm here to do this, and I know that I'm good at this. I just want to give my best that day. And then everything else doesn't matter. And I think on this set, everybody was like that. In fact, on this set, when I worked with Neeraj sir and Bhav on Freelancer,
Correct.
everybody was like that. They are actors. They want to, come prepared, give a good shot, and have fun with that. So, and that's how the project comes to an end. So all of this, I never really thought about it, or doesn't strike.
But when you started off, does it used to be intimidating on sets, or were you as confident even then?
No, of course I was intimidated, because my first project here in Hindi especially was with Akshay Kumar, Vidya Balan. And that time, say I was just fresh out of college.
Yeah.
And I had decided, okay, I'm going to try doing this. Plus my family is not at all into films. So for them, their daughter going from design to films was like going from one industry that they don't understand to, okay, films, which is even scarier. But I am blessed that they have always shown such support. And when your dad calls you and tells you, okay, don't be afraid, I'm there, or be brave, these words just blur out anybody who's in, then nothing is that big.
Yeah.
I feel those words have a lot of weight.
Wow.
Yeah.
But in this industry especially, there is this one thing that is so sad that even today it happens is women being again pitted against each other. And I feel that I have seen women being the most secure in this
Yeah.
industry. I've seen like Mission Mangal. Oh my God,
Yeah.
a multi-starrer with so
Correct.
many women and so
Yeah.
many lead actresses.
Yeah.
It's not easy. You go and find 5 lead actors who want to do that. I'm
Yes.
sure it will be very difficult. But despite that, women are termed as, oh, they are having cat fights, or oh, they don't
I
like
think
each other.
does that still happen?
Yes, it does. Each time there's a multi-starrer with 2 female actresses, oh, they were jealous of each other on set, or they were cutting each other's lines and parts. And honestly, that I don't even think that truly happens. These are just gossips that go around.
I think so. I think that's maybe kind of clickbait or something. I don't know. But for me personally, I've not been a part of such a project where I've had an issue with the other female actor or the other actress or anything.
But when you work on a project like Mission Mangal, was it also because so early on in your career?
It was just so I was like, wow. I mean, I'm Vidya Balan's daughter. I was sold. I mean, okay, I'm going to do that. Then later, I pivoted to the South and I did more films there. And then by the time I came here, I was doing lead projects here now again with Neeraj sir, and then Glory happened and all of that. But it was just amazing. I mean, Vidya ma'am was just great to work with. And I had barely, 4-5 days of shoot. But I think it was great. Listen, when you're not from the films and somebody comes and tells you, okay, this is the audition and you're going to be Vidya Balan's daughter, and then, okay, and you are playing that, it's just amazing, right? That time you don't think कि क्या positioning है और कैसे दिखेंगे and all that. All this media lingo or this industry lingo comes to you later. This is what you're taught. But you also have to... I enjoyed that, like just freshly I've come to the industry and I was working there. It was amazing.
Was it also very uplifting, and did it also shape the way you are today as an actor, that experience?
Yes, it did, because you learn everything on a set. And my initial films like Mission Mangal or Sivapu Manjal Pachai in South, that was with a very amazing director called Sahni, and he taught me the importance of, okay, showing up 15 minutes early, coming prepared. And he said, if you want to go far, then this is what you do. If you want to get fame quickly, there are many other things and you can probably ignore it. But if you want to go far, then you do this. Wow. And yeah, so him, then in that film, I also worked with Siddharth. So my director would speak really highly of his work ethic. And then you would see what he's delivering.
Correct.
So, you get inspired by looking at such co-actors. Vidya ma'am, she is such a fab actor, but on set, she's even more fun. She keeps things light because she knows that, if she's serious and snooty, people are going to they're not going to have the best come out of them. But she was amazing to work with. Then Neeraj sir, he has given, that project really changed everything for me, because I don't know if you watched the show.
I have.
Freelancer. I have like a double role and like 3 looks. So I felt like, as if somebody I know has written this for me and it's come my way. And that also, like, I auditioned and they were, I was in Kerala. I was shooting a film there and I was on a houseboat. And when this audition came to me, Shubham, the casting director, he reached out and he's like, listen, I saw your profile and you would be really good for this, but I need the audition tape today. So I was shooting for a dance song, and it was a proper nice dance song, as in it was a romantic song.
Okay.
And I was there and I went inside the room, I read the lines, I finished the shoot, and then I had my assistant tape it and I sent it, and the next day I got a call saying Neeraj sir watched it and he's liked it and he would want to test you again.
Wow.
So it's just amazing that how things work, right? I was there and nothing was perfect, nothing about this sounds perfect, but it just clicked. So I really wanted that project, and it worked out really well for me because that was the first time I could really get into the depth of a character, and there was a lot of work.
Yeah.
So it felt good.
Lovely. But you know, Kashmira, an actor's part, like large part in an actor's life, is going to be rejections, going to be dealing with replacements, not getting what you really hope for. And that's going to, and it's not related with how you are as an actor. It's very important to understand that because sometimes we take rejections so personally that we start self-doubting ourselves that maybe I'm not good enough. But there could be so many more reasons. Today, has the way you deal with rejections or replacements changed from the way when you first started off?
Yes, I think I personally have a rule that what's meant for me will not pass me by.
Correct. Yeah.
And I think if you have that very solid in your head, then you're just happier and at peace and you're moving forward. Because, I mean, it's not fun to want something that doesn't want you, kind of a thing.
Yes.
And also, a lot of actors don't understand that it's not personal. That part is not right for you.
Yeah.
And that can be a lot of factors involved. So it's fine. I mean, and the fun part about this industry is that there's so much happening, and there is, anything can happen. The uncertainty is both ways. It's good and bad. So I like to play it that way.
You know, but even today there are so many conversations around people losing out on projects. Like one of my friends who's not a part of the industry, he's an outsider, he lost a project to a star kid, and he was really heartbroken, and as his friend I felt so bad. But later on we realized that this mostly happens in every industry. It's just that film industry is so talked about, people really blow it out of proportion. But has something like that ever happened to you, and how do you look at it as if you lose out on something just because you don't have a big surname?
Personally, I don't think that's happened to me or maybe not that I know of, but one or two really big projects that like blasted, and I was like, oh damn, I was shortlisted for that.
Yeah.
But it went to a very deserving actor.
Okay.
So I was happy for that. I mean, whoever got that part, she's doing fabulous right now.
Do you want to reveal it?
No,
okay.
I wouldn't. And I feel like as long as, if it's not come to me, then firstly, doesn't matter who's gone to, but if it's gone to another deserving person, that's
actor.
amazing.
That's true.
Yeah. And what was your question? That has this not happened to me? And yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think this is complaining about this is like pretty, you just move on and you see what's there in front of you. If you look at one thing to complain about, there's going to be a lot. So I feel like this is just how it is just how it is, and you have to work your way around it. Yeah.
But things have changed so much today. Like, so many younger actors are like fully PR trained. They know what to talk about, which is a great thing, because actors used to get into trouble a lot earlier, and they used to, like, if they say what they said earlier, they would get cancelled every single minute. But how do you see this transition as? Because today I see sometimes the PR training is so much that everything seems like, okay, this is a PR campaign, or this is not true, or this is not natural. When you look at these things, and how is your relationship with PR, with media, with social media, all of this, how do you tackle that?
Social media is a very different thing, but PR, I haven't done much personally. I haven't spoken. I think you're the first person I'm speaking to now.
Yeah.
During freelance, I think we did a couple of things with Hotstar. So yeah, I'm not that experienced, and slightly, we're all afraid we don't want to say anything, we don't want to reveal anything. That's there, but how do you not be afraid? Like, I don't know. I'm asking you, since you are more into this. So
how do you not be afraid?
How do you go about this? Because this is what everybody is told, right? Like, okay, let's not do this, let's not do that. So how do you but then you also hear, but be interesting. Like, how can one on purpose be interesting? I have no idea, but
I think really,
I can just come and be myself, and then,
of course, and that, as you should. I feel it's really important who you are speaking with. Honestly, I have seen anchors take something that you have said and attach somebody
Yes, that
else's name,
happens.
and they make headlines out of
Oh,
that. We were just
yes.
having a conversation with Ankur where we were just having a word, and I was like, listen, I will not do anything that is going to be crass, because that's just not how I do things,
Yeah.
and I am very ethical. So it's also important who you are speaking with. Of course, if you're speaking with
100%.
somebody whose intention is to do that, no
Yeah.
matter what you say, your words
Even
will
if
be
I
minced.
don't say anything,
Yeah,
it will be
they'll just take something out and put a headline on that.
exactly.
But that being said, even today when you see, and it happens, I'm sorry I have to get the gender in between, but it happens to women way more, that your work gets overshadowed each time there's some news about your personal life that's coming out. When that happens, if you have dealt with that, how do you just not let it bother you and just keep working? Because it takes a lot to make your name in terms of how you work, and when that gets overshadowed with some news about your personal life, it's not fair.
Yeah, I mean, some things are not in your control. So I don't really go back and look at things like that. So it's not really happened.
And what about social media? Do you have like a good relationship with social media?
Oh, absolutely. I do, I think, because I worked mainly, I've done, see what, now 10 films in the South, and I began there. So my fans there and the following I have, they're so deeply in love with you that you feel like, okay, I want to keep these guys happy,
Yeah.
and I want to go keep on working. And you're also like, you make your own community. So they've always supported me, and I really feel good that I have made that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of people who have worked in the South industry and the Hindi film industry, they say it's very difficult when you come from there, because there everything is way more systematic, way more organized, and everyone's very punctual. Did you feel that kind of a difference?
I think it's also on the makers. Luckily, I've worked with
Yeah, you've worked with great makers, so yeah.
So I've never dealt with that. Yeah, touch wood.
Okay, but in the coming days, in the coming years, what kind of roles, what kind of films, projects do you want to see yourself in? Do you have like your favorite genre?
See, I personally, uh, I love like a lot of things. Okay, like I love love stories.
Yeah.
But I also love espionage, a good thriller.
Yeah.
So the way I did a Bharti, I think I also wanted to prove that to myself, that I can work in everything. And I think as an actor, every actor wants to do all of these things. So I definitely don't want to stick to safe and the cutesy same roles, but not completely taken away from it. So far, I have tried to do that.
Yeah.
So let's see. I mean, I'm open to surprises.
Lovely. Lastly, Kashmira, for us, of course, as we introduced you, you are the next big thing. But if I ask you, according to you, who's this one actor you've... One second. Is this... Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. But lastly, Kashmira, as I introduced you, I feel you are the next big thing that we have today. But if I ask you who, according to you, is the next big thing, somebody you've met recently or you've acted with, who would that be?
Somebody who I have acted with.
Or maybe met, or you just know about, or you've watched their work.
Like a girl?
Any gender, no bar, anybody.
I think Sara Arjun is fab, and I don't think she's the next big thing anymore. I think she is the big thing right now. But that girl is stunning.
Yeah.
She acts well. She, has a great X factor to her. I think that was fab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kashmira. I hope you keep doing roles like Bharti and keep giving us, more interesting projects to watch.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Kashmira, and you're watching me on FPJ Showbiz.